we had our first game. It was like a low-key game. Nobody knew about it. It was like a scrimmage almost, but like it was sold out, and the whole like it almost like the whole floor like rushed me and was asking for pictures, and I had to get security. Like they made $2 million off of one game, bro. I was like, dude, my life has changed for sure. You know what I mean?
This is season 2 of Subject to Change with Jordan McCabe. Still Subject to Change podcast because I had all this time and didn't think of a good name. So, but that doesn't matter as much as the fact that we got a great guest on today, Mac McClung. Woo! Live.
Appreciate it. I'm honored to be here.
We'll insert better clapping audio. But yeah, do you ever have to go through like I always feel myself talking about having to break this like stigma of just being a dribbler. Did you have any stigmas growing up around you and how you were as a player that you felt you had to break?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. My thing was he's a dunker, blah, blah, blah. You know, I had the weirdest hype. If you really think about it, it was like all the fans were like, oh, he's the next big thing. And then all the analytic ESPN and all that was like, he's not even going to play till his junior year. Like, it was like I wasn't even going to play. And now that, like, let's say I'm the leading scorer at Georgetown, it's still like, oh, he's not doing that, because the media was like, it was such a off balance. You know what I mean? So it was like, when media expected me to be like, you know, I expected myself to be that big, but like they wanted me to be the next Zion. You know what I mean? And
right.
And then the ESPN guys were like, you know, he's not even going to tribute to Georgetown. But now, you know what I mean? It's a rough balance, but I think I'm focused, and that's the biggest thing, is just focusing on that moment and getting better. So I don't know, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens. And kind of running back on small town, you know, you get that a little bit where people are, you know, they're not used to. I mean, there wasn't a Mac McClung before you doing what you did on the court in Gate City, right? Unless
right.
There's a, you know, no, there's nobody really doing what you were doing. And when that happens, it cuts the room in half, right? You got the people that are supportive of it. Generally, your family's on that side. It was that way for me. And then a lot of people in the community fall on that side. But then there's this other side that it's this human nature of somebody's successful. All right, let me get my popcorn and wait for him to slip up in any way, right? You know, right. have a rough season or do this or that. It's a weird, you know, you experience hate through all this stuff. And, you know, did you experience that coming up at all in terms of, you know, backlash or anything like that?
Oh yeah, bro. You know, you could tell when you talk to people. Some people, you know, small communities, like, you know, some people did want the best for you. They,
right.
You know, they loved you, and look, but there's people, you know, that are just waiting. You know what I'm saying? They're like, but like, I'm just trying to make sure those people keep waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to wait a long, long time. But it's what it is. But you know, I think it's interesting experiencing hate at a young age. You know, because most people don't feel that. And I don't know about you, but like, the hardest ones were like people you knew and your family knew, but you knew they were low-key talking on the side. Like, you hear everything when you're that person, you know what I mean? So that was very interesting.
Oh, are we recording? Are you asking me a question? Did you just flip this? Is this what's happening?
I'm flipping the script, bro.
Flip the script. Here we go.
I want to know about the ballsy move to get an arm tat. How did you go through that process?
The ballsy move to get an arm tat. Right. Okay. So, yeah. So here we go. Real quick. This is Jesus and the Crown of Thorns. 505 is for my grandfather. And then I got the coal miners salute playing for West Virginia in there. Mm-hmm. And I'm still going to kind of wrap it all up with a nice, pretty sleeve. So how did I go through with that? Man, I love creativeness. I love the arts behind not only basketball. I just love when those two like came together, right? I like guys who can express themselves. And my rule growing up, because I have some ink on my side and stuff like that, and don't worry, I'm flipping it on you. You got ink too. But anyways, to get the arm tat, my rule is it always had to be under the jersey. But then I went off to college, and you know, crazy things happen. You get to college, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna jump in the chair and get an arm tat. I want a sleeve. So I made a really impulsive decision, but I'm happy with it, and I like it, and I like the ability to kind of. I'm not talented enough to just do this, but
right.
You know, think of the idea and let somebody, you know, do their work and kind of express themselves with me. So I don't know what drove me to do it, but I got it. So there's no going back now. That's kind of the fun thing about tattoos is, yeah, you can get them laser removed, but hey, once you do it, you got to be all in, right?
Right. It's dope though, bro. I like it for sure. Man, there's some crazy stories, man. It's just like it all kind of happened really fast. Like a couple videos went out, and then it was like almost like everybody like around me knew me. And when I remember I went to Vegas with the team, right after my windmill dunk. I think that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like a worker was like running out of his store. He's like, "Yo, Mac." I was like, is this like a relative of mine? What's up? Like, he's like, "Yo, big fan." I was like, that's insane, man. Like, what do you mean, big fan? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have fans, but
is that when you kind of realized, was that one of the light bulb moments? Like, okay, something's happening right now.
For sure, man. And then we had our first game. It was like a low key game. Nobody knew about it. It was like a scrimmage almost, but like it was sold out, and the whole like it almost like the whole floor like rushed me and was asking for pictures, and I had to get security. Like, I was like, dude, my life has changed for sure. You know what I mean?
This is AAU right now you're talking about?
Oh, this is my first high school scrimmage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But no, man, it was just weird. I don't know. It was just weird, like taking photos and stuff from being like me to taking photos. Like, it's a weird transition. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there was stories, going into, not getting too deep into like paying players and all that. But I remember like there's some of the games were so packed, man. It was crazy. There was a game that wasn't even probably the top 5 most packed games, right?
Yeah.
They made $2 million off of one game, bro. I was like,
who did?
The place that held the game, man.
Gosh.
And ain't nobody touched none of that. I ain't touched none of that money. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make no sense to me.
I appreciate you coming on, man. This is season 2, episode 1. You're kicking off what hopefully is going to be a jump up from what we did last season. I'm trying to get better in this chair, and you came in and made my job real easy, man. And I really appreciate you for it. All right?
Nah, bro. I appreciate you, man. Anytime.
Let's keep in contact, and I think people probably want to see a TikTok within the next day or so. Maybe sort of like a challenge type thing. Me to you, you to me. Just tag me, and we'll get it going on there. Or maybe we save it for when this release date is, and that way we can do it kind of in sync.
Sounds good, man. Let's start beefing on TikTok, bro.
All right, sounds good. We'll start the beef right now. Mac, you're the man. I appreciate you.
All love, man. I'll see you, bro.
Woohoo! That's the one right there, Larry.
I know. I'm trying to tell you that joint was fire, right? If you want to check out the rest of the videos, they're right here for you. And subscribe. Right here. We need you. Come on, Chloe, let them know right there.